Hey YouTube, welcome back to the channel. My name's Patrick. Today we're going to be doing a slightly different review. Normally we've been doing reviews on Logitech products. Today we're going to start to get into another hobby of mine, which is hi-fi audio. You might see a little bit of equipment behind me. I do work for a company that does high-end audio and home theaters, so I consider myself a little bit qualified to talk about some of that. Today we're going to go in real easy, nothing too fancy, no $4,000 speakers or anything. Today we're going to be talking about this, the Bravo Audio V2. Really great headphone amp. If you're starting to get into high fidelity music or you've ever thought about it, this is a fantastic way to go. I think this was actually the first headphone amp, sort of hi-fi audio piece that I got. Some might argue that this is hi-fi or not, but I think if you're even just thinking about getting a headphone amp, regardless if it's 60 bucks like this is, or $800 like that is, you're well into the hi-fi field, and I congratulate you. Welcome. So let's talk about dimensions of this. This is about 3 1/4 inches square. Deep, it's a little less than 2 inches, and that's just plastic to plastic. Doesn't include the tube amp up here or the capacitor that comes out the side. I was extremely impressed with this. This has great reviews online. Go check it out on Amazon or wherever you want to buy it from. It retails for $79.99 on Bravo Audio's website. I think I got this for between $50 and $60 on Amazon. I've had it a little over a year. It has been rotated out in my headphone setup that you see behind me, but I was extremely satisfied with it. It took a $500 DAC and an $800 DAC and $1,000 music server to finally replace something like this. And I can't say enough about it. It's fantastic. Let's get into some of the connections that you might see on it if you purchase one of these. So right here in the middle you have your volume dial. It does have a little indentation here to let you know when you're all the way low or all the way high, so you can get a general idea of how much volume you're pumping. This is the 1/4 inch headphone jack. That's where you'll plug your headphones in. This is an 1/8 inch 3.5 millimeter input. More inputs on the side. This is your left and right analog audio input. We got a nice little heatsink right here. There's a couple different heat sinks. You'll see a silver one in there on the top on either side of the tube. And we have a couple capacitors in here. This one on the side for a little bit of power draw. Moving on to the back, you see the big capacitor that's there. Over here we have our power input. It uses a 24 volt DC power draw. Over here is a very simple power on-off toggle switch. And then on this side, no more inputs. I'm going to get a little washed out for a second. I'm going to jump on Audio Ocean's website and read a couple specs here. So it says affordable price, powerful, dynamic, and sweet tube sound. Let me talk about that tube sound real quick. This uses a 12 AU7 tube. It's great. I've replaced it. The one that it comes with, there's nothing wrong with the one that it comes with. It's very good. Adds a lot of warmth, depth, lessens your noise floor. Very good tube. I did replace the tube on this. This is not the stock tube. It looks exactly the same. It's just this is not the stock tube. Because a couple people on Amazon were talking about upgrades to this. There's not too terribly much you can do with it, but a common thing with headphone tube amps is to just replace the tube. And you can go on eBay, and I go to Knob Team, N-O-B Team, and they sell a ton of these tubes for different amps, everything from guitar amps to headphone amps to big high-quality studio amps. So the tube on this I did replace. A little bit more warmth, a little bit more depth, could be debated. It was a very cheap and quick upgrade that I decided to do from reading on some forums. Let's go back to Bravo Audio's website. It says, with Shoe Gang 12 AU7 tube, cute and beautiful looking. Don't know if I'd call it cute. Pure Class A tube amp, no op amp IC. Whatever that means. Low voltage, good safety, powerful for any headphones. Retails for $79.99 United States dineros. Really good for any headphones. I don't care if you're just thinking about hi-fi audio and you got a crappy pair of Bose headphones, or you paid way too much for some Beats audio headphones. Argue with me about those on the comments. I dare you. Any headphones you plug into these are fantastic. It creates an entirely different sonic experience. Anything from, you know, a $50 pair of Sony headphones all the way up to a $1,000 pair of Grados. We'll definitely see a little bit of improvement from even a lame little, you know, DIY looking headphone amp like this. Can't say enough about it. Obviously, it's not in my audio setup anymore, but great for somebody who's starting to get into hi-fi audio. Back to the website, it says the power input is 24 volt DC. Input sensitivity is 100 millivolt in either direction. The impedance is 100K ohms. The output to your headphones, it can drive headphones between 20 and 600 ohms. The gain is 30 dB. Frequency to noise ratio is 10 kilohertz to 60 kilohertz, plus or minus a quarter of a decibel. Signal to noise ratio is a little less than 90 decibels. Dynamic range is between 85, which is 300 ohms, and 89, which is 33 ohms. Talked about a whole bunch of other stuff that I'm not sure of. It's 79 millimeters by 79 millimeters by 44 millimeters. We already went over some dimensions. The inputs that I talked about are the stereo RCA here, your left and right analog audio. And on the front, your stereo 3.5 millimeter input. Your output is the stereo 6.35 millimeter or your 1/4 inch jack. And if you don't have one, if you just have a pair of headphones that don't come with one, they're pretty easy to pick up. A 1/4 inch to 1/8 inch adapter. Pros and cons of this product. I did talk a lot about the pros. The tube is great. Has a very nice warm light to it. When you turn it on, it's kind of nice at night. I have a blue theme kind of going on with some of the lighting that you'll see around my battle station. This goes very well with it. I was surprised by it. They don't talk about what color it exudes. When I powered it on the first time, I was very pleasantly surprised. The DIY model, kind of really open, you know, you could have slapped this together yourself. In terms of build quality, I don't mind it. As a tech guy myself, I kind of like to look inside and, you know, see how a piece of technology works. But I guess some people might consider it a con. Some of the protected housing up here, obviously, if this takes too hard of a hit, you could definitely damage some of the components in here. If you have a cat, or, you know, it gets dusty or something like that, that might affect performance down the road. But this has held up very well for me. I still use it from time to time as I tinker around with it. But as the holidays are coming up, if you have anybody that's interested in hi-fi audio, or, you know, wants to add a little better noise and experience to their headphone listening, this is a great option. $60. You can buy it online in a million places, and I can't say enough about Bravo Audio. They make a very great product. They have a ton of other products. Some I'll be reviewing a little bit later. We might dive into my audio setup if I ever decide to disconnect it and not listen to it for a night. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss that. Thanks for watching. Leave those questions and comments for this in the section below. Like it if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it. Make sure you're subscribed, and thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.